So there's one thing I'm interested in. I heard very little about it, but the Ghana is deporting Israelis for.
Yes,
Yeah,
let me get to that story. I think what happened is a few months ago, Ghana sent some diplomats to Israel. Then the Israelis only allowed two in and they deported the rest. These are like diplomats on Ghana, we call it, they were holding red passport, right? Israel sends them back. And I think Israel may have sent them back because of maybe commentary on social media. You know how like they are looking at everything, even if they're diplomats.
mhm.
So the Ghanaians tried to, they did like some diplomatic negotiation right there in Tel Aviv, and the Israelis were still not letting them in. They deported those guys. Then the Ghanaian foreign ministry waited it out, and some Israelis showed up in Accra, and they sent their asses back too. So I guess now Israel is mad about it, but like I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, like if there's one country in Africa that can do it, it's Ghana. You know, Ghana doesn't take bullshit. Period. It's they will always set the pace for stuff like that.
And we end the show with a tit-for-tat diplomacy move from Ghana. The country has deported 3 Israeli nationals who landed in Accra on Wednesday. They say they've been compelled to retaliate over what Israel started. Ghanaian authorities have stated this move is a direct response to the alleged mistreatment of Ghanaian travellers in Tel Aviv. Earlier this month, 7 Ghanaians were detained at Israel's Ben Gurion airport. 4 of them were staff from the parliamentary service attending a cybersecurity conference. Accra says their citizens were held for 5 hours without a justifiable explanation. 3 of them were deported, while the rest were released after intense diplomatic pressure. Ghana's foreign minister called the treatment humiliating. He also summoned Israeli embassy officials in Accra and demanded respect for their citizens. His directive was plain and simple: 1 Israeli for every Ghanaian sent back.
The Israeli authorities have now apologized.
Well, I want to get your commentary on this, but I wanted to say, remember when we were doing those FBA things, people were talking about how in Africa the Chinese are ruling us, all these other people are in charge of us. We don't have any power to do anything. We're like technically just bowing to massa, right? And then a story like this comes out because I've spent the whole 2 months telling people that's not what it is. Like we rule ourselves, you know? And whenever going abroad and begging for help or trying to make money off of rich countries doesn't mean that when it comes to us not accepting certain things that we're just gonna be walked all over, right? Like if they say no, they say no too. Like they have some cards to play. And in Ghana's case, uh, Israel needs Ghana in that region. Remember, like of all these countries that have Islamic terrorism and stuff, Ghana doesn't. So Israel needs a lot of Ghana's example across West Africa. And the Ghanaians are aware of that. So they're like, okay, well, you send these guys back. We're going to send, you send 10, we'll send 10. If you send 20, we'll send 20. And your people are going to keep coming here because there's a lot of Israeli interest within that part of Africa. Let me hear your commentary on it.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, basically, I look at it like this. Stuff like this has happened before in some type of capacity. I mean, you get a lot of people in America will say that, well, you're being controlled by the UK, the French, and the Chinese, and even the Russians, and now it would probably sound like even the Israelis are controlling Africans. They control African countries. Whatever they say, you're going to have to do. In order for a country to respond in kind, if you deport our citizens for whatever reason, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing back. Shows that they do have their own level of self-authority of that they can do this. We don't need your authority to say that we can or cannot do this when something like this happens. And in like kind, it's like, if Ghana was to do that first, then Israeli might decide to do that too. So it could have gone either way. But the whole idea that I've been hearing for a long time, and I always knew it wasn't true, Because when people say it about Kenya, because Kenya could easily do the same thing and has done things like this in the past as well, is deport people if they're doing wrong in the country, and sucking up to the white man when he comes and commits a crime in Kenya, that you give him leniency. No, deportation is not leniency. Getting arrested and sent to jail, then deported, is not leniency. And revoke their visas, whatever, for the future, not just for like 20 years, but for a lifetime, to never be able to come back. That is something that they are self-governed. They don't have to worry about somebody else from another country telling them what to do, especially a government. So I don't mind Ghana doing this. In all honesty, I just hope it wouldn't be me, like one of the people that has to be sent back, because I have some legitimate business. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they can do this because what was done and the reason behind it, my opinion is, if they want to go ahead and retaliate in kind, they can go ahead and do so.
Yeah, yeah. I think Israel was wrong for doing this, because these were not like regular travelers. These, a lot of them were diplomats. Like they were sent by the government, right? So they're not gonna run away and all of a sudden. I don't know I know there's a Ghanaian population that went to Israel in the past to work on the farms and stuff. But it's not really been a safe country because of the wars and stuff that is going on in the Middle East. So a lot of Ghanaians that lived there even then have left. Some of them came to the US, some went to Europe. But it's not like a Ghanaian diplomat is not going to run away from Ghana. You know how African politics is. If you are in power right now, you're automatically a millionaire. So why would you want to leave? Like, these are their best times. Like, when they win elections, they get taken care of, bro.
Yeah, you can also say that about American politicians. I mean, they become millionaires as a politician, even though the salaries don't reflect that. But
Yep.
I can't remember if I sent you the video about Elon Omar, how she got her $30 million. Did I send you that video?
No.
Okay, it's through getting inside information on the stock market.
Like they all do, like Nancy did too, right? Pelosi.
Yeah, yeah.
Inside information, because they only make $200,000 a year.
Yeah. It's all of them, bro. It's like, that's an illegal thing to do, but that's what they're doing.